Episode 30, fretboard. Okay, so in the last episode, we got this neck blank a lot closer to where we need it in terms of having the truss rod properly fitted and this extension kind of added to the end of the neck. So we now know that we've at least got enough material for our full range of frets, which is always nice. And even though this may still look like a great big chunk of wood, we're actually kind of quite a way along in getting my head around how we need to progress with this. However, as I said last time, I'm still working on the body furiously behind the scenes, trying to get that to the stage where we can start to get the two married together. So rather than kind of break off and go back to that, because you've seen me do all of that once already, I'm actually going to make a start on the fretboard in this episode. And to do that, I've started with this great big chunk of rosewood, which I've taken to the bandsaw and thinned down into a much more suitable sized piece. And then I've got that attached to the bench, and I've just gone at it with a number 6 plane and flattened down the underside to something that is kind of acceptable. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but we've got it into a state where we can kind of proceed with the rest of this. Now, obviously, we've got quite a bit of work to do on this. We need to put some fret slots in. We need to radius this. We need to put the markers in, and on this one I'm going to be using the thumbnail type markers. So we need to kind of get those cut in and get the markers cut and everything. But the first thing we need to do is get this all marked out and get it ready for getting the fret slots in. We've obviously got our fret scale ruler, which we can attach to this. So I think without further ado, we'll crack on and make a start on it. And this blank is about, it's about 64 mil. So I'm going to set my marking gauge up to 32, and I'll use that to put a centre line right the way down this. I've trued the edge I'm working off up with a plane, so I know it's kind of pretty straight, so we can use that to mark our centre line. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cut in a little saw mark on that centre line, so that that can be there right the way through the process. So that once we've lost that centre line that I've scribed in, as we inevitably will once we start to kind of put a radius and everything on there, we can quite easily find it again from those marks on the end, which will both eventually get cut off, because I will start my nut line a little way away from there and we'll have plenty left over at the other end. So that should be all good. So next up, good old-fashioned super glue and masking tape into this fret scale ruler. I'm not going to use any accelerator because I want a little bit of open time just to make sure that I get this positioned exactly right. Now you probably can't see here, but there's a little line that extends from each of the notches on here. And what I'm doing is making sure that the edge of my fretboard is right up against those lines right the way through, which means that This fretboard is now kind of running parallel to the edge of there, which means once I've got my fret slotting mitre box set up, we should be cutting fret slots that are absolutely at right angles to this centre line, which is super important. And those of you that have been around for a while will recognise this. This is my fret slotting jig, and basically there's some stops on here that kind of ensure that the saw blade is running square to the mitre box, which it is, and there's also a little pin just down in here which engages with the little notches in the template so that we know that we're slotting in the right position. And it's simply a case of you kind of put it in position, cut down with the saw to the appropriate depth, which basically in this jig is as far down as I can cut, move it onto the next one, cut again, rinse and repeat. So without further ado, I'll just start working my way through this. And there we have all of the slots put in place. Didn't actually take that long, probably about 10 minutes or so to get that done. I dream of one of those radial arm saw setups with a tiny thin curved blade in that could do this in seconds rather than minutes. But at the moment, that remains a dream. So we'll have to stick with what we've got. Right, next up is we need to break out another jig, and this is one that I only recently acquired, and that is my whirligig router setup. So we'll get everything cleared away and get that jig set up. And if you haven't seen this before, this is a little jig that I made up a little while ago. It comprises a number of parts. There's this bit that goes onto the workbench with this central piece of wood that we attach our fretboard blank onto with a centre line marked on there. Just stick that down with super glue and masking tape. This has been made to be kind of very flat and straight. And then onto that goes this bit, which kind of slides up and down there. And onto that goes this base that moves along there on bearings, and to which we fasten our router. And the idea is that we drop our router bit down to the height we need it at, and this will, as it goes along and moves across that platform, it will route on the appropriate fretboard radius. It's very clever. This bit obviously is 3D printed. I actually got the plans for all of this off the next project, so you can drop onto his YouTube channel and kind of search out the video where he talks about this, and that's got links to all the files that you need to print these yourself. And it really is a good bit of kit, and it's made what can be quite a tricky job of getting these fretboard radiuses done a great deal simpler. And I've done a little bit of setting up work off camera here. So we've got the fretboard fastened down, super glue and masking tape, and we've got our router set up just with a straight cutter in there, set to the appropriate depth. And I'm just going to start working my way through this and get this radius put in. And I've just given that a couple of quick passes there, and we're still a little bit high in terms of the thickness. We need to come down about 1 mil on that, but we are looking quite good in terms of our radius. So I think another pass, come down about 1 millimetre, and we should be ready for some sanding. And with that kind of final pass done, yeah, we're just a little bit above 6 mil there, which will leave us a little bit of meat for sanding, so happy with that. And I think radius is looking pretty good as well. So with that done, we'll break out the sanding block. Now normally we'd have to do quite a lot of sanding on these, but I think on this one we should be through it quite quickly. So thankfully that sanded in really quickly, didn't take much doing at all, but you'll notice we have lost some of our fret slots towards the edge. So I've just set up the saw with a little stop on, and I'm just gonna very quickly just work those slots back in. Which hopefully won't take me too long. And there we have our fretboard slotted, radiused, and kind of ready for the next stage. And I'm actually very happy with that. It's come out really nicely, and there's some nice figure in this bit of rosewood too, so happy days. Now the next step with this is we need to figure out what we're going to do with the fingerboard markers. And I'm going to go with the neoclassic markers, as they call them, which is more commonly known as the thumbnails, which I will be making out of mother of pearl. How I'm going to go about that, I'm not quite sure yet. I need to do a little bit of research and a little bit of planning. So I will leave this episode here. I'll be back in a few days' time when we can make a start on those markers. Until then, don't forget to hit like if you've enjoyed this, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.